Let's talk about preventing heat stress at the Pensacola Celanese plant. In this training, we will cover adverse effects from a hot environment, what causes heat stress, what we do to manage our hot environment, and what to do if you become overheated. We'll start out with some incidents that occurred in July and August of 2010. During that time frame, we had 4 material handlers treated for heat stress. There were several factors we found that contributed to the material handlers becoming overheated. 1. They were all wearing new fire-retardant coveralls, with more clothes on underneath. 2. 3 of the 4 employees were on new blood pressure medication. 3. The temperature was over 90 degrees. As we discuss heat stress and how to prevent it, think about these incidents and how they may have been avoided. First, we will talk about what causes heat stress. Heat stress can be caused by the weather. In Florida, particularly in the summer, temperatures can reach into the 90s or 100s of degrees Fahrenheit. Humidity and lack of wind also contribute to increased heat stress. Stagnant, humid air slows down sweat evaporation, which is needed to cool the body naturally. Certain surfaces also radiate heat, like asphalt or concrete, increasing the heat in those areas. An area in direct sunlight also tends to be hotter than a shaded area. Heat stress can also be caused by a heavy work rate. Doing hard manual work, in a fast manner, can raise your body temperature and contribute to heat stress when the environment is hot. Heat stress can also be caused by clothing. Long sleeves, multiple layers, thick fabric, all increase body temperature and prevent sweat evaporation, which increases the chances of heat stress occurring. Certain things about each individual can contribute to heat stress as well. This includes whether or not you've been acclimated to a hot environment, age, and certain medications. The factors we've been discussing are the main contributors to heat stress, but there are hidden factors that can contribute as well. These include culture of the workplace, education, and isolation. A work culture that does not allow for frequent breaks, adequate water, or areas for employees to cool down can add to incidents of heat stress. A lack of education about heat stress, what it is, what to look out for, and what causes it, can also make a person more susceptible to overheating. Lastly, working in isolation, you may not be able to sense the signs of heat stress in yourself, and therefore may not take preventative measures in a timely manner. Next, let's talk about the symptoms of heat stress and the levels of heat stress incidents. The least severe heat stress symptom, and often the first, is heat rash. Heat rash appears as itchy red bumps, most likely in damp areas of clothing, like around the armpits. Next in line of severity is heat cramps. This is a painful tightening of the muscles due to a loss of electrolytes, usually from sweat. After heat cramps, if left untreated, heat stress continues into dizziness and fainting. This happens due to dehydration and blood vessels dilating. Next in severity is heat exhaustion. With heat exhaustion, a person experiences weakness, heavy sweating, rapid weak pulse, and pale and cold skin. If you experience this symptom, you should seek to cool down immediately. The most severe consequence of heat stress is heat stroke. Heat stroke can cause convulsions, body temp over 104, strong and rapid pulse, confusion, and chills. Someone experiencing a heat stroke should receive medical attention ASAP. So now you know what factors contribute to heat stress and what sort of symptoms to look out for. Let's go over how we manage our hot environment at Celanese in Cantonment. When the temperatures reach over 85-90 degrees, we require that material handlers stay in the break room between loading rubber and that box building and housekeeping duties are shared. This makes it so that no one person is doing all of the hot activities, all shift long. Other employees should rotate into the break room for at least 5 minutes every 30 to cool off. Isolation, to combat heat stress. While working in isolation, employees who are working in isolated areas should wear radios and inform others of where they will be working and for how long. Wearing too many layers of clothing can also contribute to your risk of heat stress. Areas like the box building mezzanine or around the snake tanks give off heat and make a hot environment even hotter. To combat this risk, you are only required to wear your FR jumpsuit while pulling snakes, and your hard hat can be removed while building boxes on the second floor box building mezzanines. You should avoid wearing multiple layers of clothing when the weather is hot. During hot weather, we make sure the fridges are well stocked with water and electrolyte freeze pops. Electrolyte powders are also available. Fans are to be kept on, and frequent breaks are given. We schedule certain high heat tasks when possible for nighttime when it's cooler, and provide frequent training and reminders about heat stress during the hot months. You, as an individual, are responsible for only reporting when fit for work. Illness or heavy consumption of alcohol or caffeine can dehydrate you and make you more susceptible to heat stress. If your supervisor suspects you are not fit to work, you may be sent home. You can ensure that you don't experience heat stress by taking several actions. 1. Wear loose clothing. 2. Take short breaks and rotate tasks. If you are loading rubber, go into the break room in between loading lines. 3. Drink at least a half a gallon of water every day, preferably with electrolytes, to replace what you lose by sweating. 4. Increase ventilation by turning on fans. 5. Do not drink energy drinks when temperatures are high. 6. Avoid excessive alcohol or caffeine or activities that cause excessive sweating prior to work. 7. Seek advice on medications and heat tolerance. If your doctor puts you on a new medication, check to see if it will have an effect on your heat tolerance. 8. Slowly acclimatize back to the hot environment after illness or time away from work. If you happen to become overheated, what should you do? First, move into a cool place. Then notify your team lead or coworkers to let them know you are feeling overheated. Next, loosen or remove clothes and PPE. Drink cool fluids, not iced. Cool your body using cool cloths, fans, etc. If you see someone else loses consciousness, pull the alarm and notify your team lead immediately. In summary, we work in a high heat environment that requires diligence to prevent heat-related illness. Diligence includes proper rest, hydration, and attention to the effects of substances like medication, caffeine, and alcohol on your ability to tolerate heat. Recognizing the early symptoms of heat stress and receiving aid quickly can prevent heat stroke and death. Heat stress is a common workplace hazard and can be prevented if you follow the guidelines listed in this training. Thank you for listening.